My name is Kerry Heafner. I'm an extension agent in horticulture with the LSU Ag Center, housed in Ouachita Parish. And today we're going to talk about the North Louisiana Seed Preservation Program. Well, the program started in 2019 and 2020. There were two events that happened. In 2019, in early spring, a gentleman came into the office and asked where he could find the Calhoun purple hull pea. At that point, I had never heard of that. And so I asked him to tell me about it, and he told me this wonderful story of this purple hull pea that was developed at the Calhoun Research Station. Everyone in the community grew it, and it had a wonderful flavor. And so I did a deep dive into the literature, and sure enough found information on the Calhoun purple hull pea, and started asking some of the local growers about it, and everyone said it's gone, you'll never find it, it's extinct. So then I contacted someone at the USDA Germplasm Bank in Griffin, Georgia, where they house the legumes and the watermelons, and it's the National Seed Bank. And they got back to me and said they have it and they would be glad to send me some seeds, and so that's what started all this. They sent me the seeds, I grew it out and was able to return some seeds back to that gentleman who had come into the office. And that was very gratifying to me. And it was a way to connect with the history of the station, because by that point in time the station had been closed for a while. So fast forward to 2020, right before the pandemic and right before we go on lockdown, I had given a talk in late February to the Marion Garden Club in Union Parish. And after my presentation, we were standing around having refreshments, talking. And a lady came up to me, Mrs. Lula Shirtliff of Marion, Louisiana. And she said, I have something you might be interested in. And she started telling me about the seeds of a watermelon she had in her freezer that a now deceased extension agent from LSU had given her. And would I be interested in them? Well, that got my attention right away, simply because of the number of requests for the Calhoun sweet watermelon that had come in. People would come in and ask where they could find seeds of this watermelon or find anyone growing it. And again, I had never heard of it, so I had to go back into the literature to find out about it. And sure enough, in addition to the pea breeding program, there was a watermelon breeding program for a while at Calhoun. And long story short, the seeds turned out to be the red and sweet, which was the last watermelon released by LSU. It was released in 1987. The first crosses were made in 1972 by Chester Taylor. And Calhoun Sweet was the first melon. It was released in 1951. And so in between those years, there were 5 melons released: Calhoun Sweet, Louisiana Queen, Summit, Calhoun Gray, and finally Red and Sweet. And Red and Sweet is what you see here. And the seeds had been given to Mrs. Shirtliff by an agent named Jess Peterson, who used to work at the Sweet Potato Research Station. He truck farmed in West Carroll Parish too. And he had given Mrs. Shirtliff the seeds. So she had 3 bags of seeds. One was from 2001, one was from 2003, and one was from 2006. So there was some question as to whether those seeds would even be viable. So the first thing I did after getting the seeds back to the office, I pulled 10 seeds out of each bag and did the old moist paper towel and a Ziploc bag trick. And sure enough, within a few days, the seeds started to germinate, so they were still good. So I grew out the most robust vine from the 2006 lot, which would have been the most recent lot of seeds. And that's what we started with. That vine produced 6 melons that were 30 pounds or more. The largest melon was 46 pounds. And then it produced about a dozen more melons that were in the reported range, 18 to 22 or 25 pounds. So of course we saved seeds from those 6 largest melons, and that's sort of what started all this. And then of course the next question was, well, what else was developed at Calhoun? What else was developed by LSU? What else is out there that we don't know about? That same summer, I got a call from a gentleman in Union Parish who said he had a purple hull pea that he's been growing for generations. He grows it, his dad grew it, his grandfather grew it. Would I be interested in it? So of course the answer was yes. And it's this purple hull pea right here. This is the Huey Long pea. It is a large purple hull pea. The vine is a very vigorous grower, so this is something that will definitely need something to crawl on. But we now have the genetics of this wonderful purple hull pea. If there's a name on it, I don't know it. He calls it the Huey Long pea, so that's what we call it. But it's just a wonderful example of what some of these older growers have stashed away in a freezer that we don't know about, and we need to know about them. So that's how the program started.